How's the royal family? I pray that everyone is doing well. Well, my royal family, this is going to be a serious video. It's going to be a bit of a long video that you can already see. And before I get deep, very deep with the royal family, y'all know this is one of my spiritual videos. Now, lately, the last few days, the royal family have been able to see the gamut of my personality. I can be fiery in nature. I can be forceful. I can be angry. I can be happy and joyful. But my overall nature, my royal family, is I'm quiet at home. The few people that have talked to me behind the scenes is astounded that they'll be like, they think they're going to get the same thing that they're getting when I'm doing these videos. Now, I'll tell you a reason why, briefly, why I allow the royal family to be able to gaze into my gamut of personalities. My mother, boy, I miss her so much, or my mommy, said to me years ago, she said, "Why are you so serious?" I've had many people say to me that I'm very serious. I come off very stern because you don't really get to meet the YouTubers that actually render their voice. So you may have perceptions of who y'all may think we is. And some of them are right and some of them are wrong. And I'm a very humble person. Now, when you hear the fire and the passion in me, there's still that humble person right there. And I don't lose sight of what's really going on serious. But you can be so serious that it can get to the point of breaking you. Now, anybody that's new to the True Royal family, I have, shared parts of my life. I'm an only child. I have experienced quite a few passings of my relatives, my parents, grandparents, and various relatives. Sometimes I lose count. I think it's 6 or 7 because I try to push it out of my psyche sometimes. I don't want to use the word loss because I know they go to another realm. And I speak of the realm often, and it's painful in this realm, experiencing that. And I have said that doesn't make me, unquote, special, because I was pissed because a number of us YouTubers, including self, were being petty and bitching about certain things, and I wanted to bring it to perspective. One of our queens had to experience the passing of 9 family members. She lost her husband and all of her children and her extended family. And a lot of us don't know what that feel like. We'll get them 1 or 2, or door to like I get them. Normally we get them in 3s. I've noticed that quite frequently. And I can remember, because it's been 2 years since my mother has crossed over, that I sat in my bedroom for 3 days in a sunken place. Even though I had prayed for my queen mother to go, because I knew she was suffering. And I know when I told my husband that, he said, "No, baby." And I said, "I can't be selfish like that." My mother was suffering. I could feel her suffering. Even though I didn't witness my mother sick, I knew she was suffering, and I didn't want her to suffer no more. And then she had briefly shared with me what she was going through, and it was god awful. And it was a mixed bag with me, where it was joyful and it was painful. And then my father, which is the one that passed first, and y'all hear me quote my dear father often. He was my master teacher. And not to say my mother didn't teach me anything, but my father stayed in my head even to the day he passed. And he came and picked me and my husband up for lunch. And some have heard this story and some haven't, so sometimes I have to repeat myself. My father was a type of man that loved to wine and dine. He was a Leo. And we went to eat at this buffet, just me, him, and my husband. And my father was very ill, but he was a very determined man, that he was not going to let his illness conquer him. And I seen the light, and there were 3 lights over his head, and it was like arched over his head like a rainbow. And it was like probably 2 sizes of his head, and he had a big head. And I have often said that the first light, and I'm looking at it now because I'll never forget it, I seen was the first one I seen was kind of golden yellowish. The second one was cloudy, but white, and the other one was transparent. Now, I normally tell my family, my closest family members, my visions and what I see. Now, I'm the type of person, I rarely get visions in my dreams. And I have shared with the royal family that I remember being born. I don't remember the physical parts of being born. I can remember distinctly on 2 occasions as a child, God talking to me, and I didn't hear no voices, just right through me. And the first time that I remember our Father talking to me, I know exactly where I was. I was in Los Angeles, California. I was in a 1966 baby blue Mustang, white interior at Jack in a Box. I was addicted to cheeseburgers as a child. And our Father told me, "You are one blessed child." And when our Father was telling me this, it felt like I was encapsulated. Now, my interpretation I think I had to be 6 years old at the time, 5 or 6, was that I was very blessed, and I still know it's true, because I had an opportunity to know many of my grandparents and my great-grandparents and great-great-grandparents. And then as life goes on, I'm finding out how I was blessed in many ways. And then I start to understand that how the world is, that the way that I talk, that we in the royal family that I speak of often is that we are empathic. We do get visions, but we have been subjugated and we have been beat down so much that even ourselves, we'll say that's crazy talk. We don't hear that shit. And you'll have a certain amount of fear or you'll have a certain amount of shame around it. And my family and my children is used to this, so they protect me. And it's a trip when you get these visions and things, and I don't always get it right, that I'm still telling my family I'm not crazy. So I'm being selfless today, my royal family. I'm not crazy or deranged or out of my mind. I don't speak in the absolutes, even though I sound like I speak in the absolutes. I don't have the answers to everything. And I know that I need, first and foremost, the Most High for all the answers. But as I go in this journey of life, my royal family, I'm also understanding on a much deeper level that I cannot do this thing without you, my royal family, who have fully accepted that they are chosen and we are truly royalty. In order to get this thing right. So I have been saying, once I overcame my fears and continue to overcome my fears, that I heard the last days. Y'all heard me say this before. And when I first said that I heard the last days, I was waiting for y'all to give me a whole bunch of true royal, you are crazy. And I got the total opposite when I, really went deep. I talked about many things. And if anybody is new to the True Royal family, I have a playlist for the chosen ones. And you'll hear many things that I talk about exclusively for the chosen ones. And there are some things that I have been wrong on. And one of the number one things that I was wrong on, and I found this out recently, and I'm going to always give credit to where I get the credit from, and I'm going to give it to Keith Newson. I was, a few short months ago, he was doing a live stream, and I get on the phone talking like I know everything, and talking about my spiritual experience, just a little twinty of it, but it was major. And I was saying to tell the royal family to go to the light. And I was wrong. I had a spiritual experience for 3 days. Thank you, Cheetah Baby Goddess. Thank you, my dear son, Delbert Royal Webb II. Thank you. Thank you, my royals. Y'all really helped me. And I remember something deep that my dear girlfriend, Catherine, said to me. She said, when you have visions or whatever you may have, go to the Bible. I mean, I've literally had ladybugs show up to me, and I look in the Bible and I find the meaning of what that ladybug represents or that butterfly represents. And she was absolutely right. And I found out that you don't go to the light, you go to the dark. And I even found out, and y'all know I'm not very well versed in the word, that Moses, when him and the Most High conversed, our father was in the dark. I don't want to mislead the royal family. So I stand to be corrected. We stand to be corrected. If you don't know, you don't know. We don't have the answers to all of these things, because there's been some things that have been taken from us, destroyed, buried. There is a lot of our history right there at the Vatican, and God knows where else. So, as we continue on, my royal family, we have had the blood moon. And I've been noticing something that's been going on with me. Anytime we have an eclipse or major events like this, I always go in a deep sleep. Because people ask me, did you experience it? And I'm like, no, I just slept like a baby. And some people have had spiritual experiences around this blood moon. Well, it just happened that we are in retrograde. And I said, I am committed to the royal family and letting the royal family know until it tapers off that we are in retrograde and there is things to expect. But don't fear it. You can use it to your advantage. Now, I had said to the royal family that when I did my research, and I'm still learning about retrograde, my father taught me about retrograde. I took advantage of my father teaching me about retrograde, and I never really took the time to study it. And then once my father crossed over, I had to go learn for thyself. And I said to the royal family, based on my research, that and I may not be saying it in the correct language, but it would be in the house of Leo. And Leo is a fire sign. And lo and behold, what we have literally around the world is heat waves in places that rarely get hot. I mean, literally. And this right here is up to date. Maybe not the temperatures and all, but it's showing you where the world is fiery in nature. And there's all of a correlation with this blood moon, with the Mercury in retrograde. And when I had my spiritual experiences and the things that were revealed to me was that there is no accidents. That astounded me. And I have had enough events after I had my spiritual experience to see exactly that our Father keeps truth. Because our Father will, I think, well, I can't say that. I would just say for myself that our Father promised me something. And what our Father promised me, it happens every single day. And I'm immensely grateful. I'm immensely grateful. And I'm all over the place a little bit because this is so emotional to me. So, I'm focusing and I'm looking at the fact that Mercury's in retrograde. It's in the house of Leo, fiery in nature. And and I always tease folks that when I first started talking about retrograde, people laughed at me, and I said, do your own research. Don't take my word for it. Some people know way more about it than me. I'm not the end all be all on these topics and subjects. We all can research this. We all can teach each other more. That's why I say here, when you come to the True Royal Family, don't trip off of me when I get up on my high horse and be blah, 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 blah and stuff. I stand to be corrected, and I'm humble. Always humble. I'm not a proud person. No way. I don't want to get there. So now let's go over here. So I found the most up-to-date photos that I could find, and these are fires around the world. Around the world. Whew. Ain't no joke. Ain't no joke. Up here in Redding, California, y'all know I'm in Northern California. Redding is further north, burning down. In fact, earlier today I was watching CNN News, and the chief of police house burnt to a crisp. Only thing gonna be left there is powder. That's how much that the chief of police house was burning down. And I'm like, wow, look at that. Mercury in retrograde, horrific fires. This stuff ain't no joke. This stuff is to be respected. Farrakhan said, watch the weather. And then in Greece, they had a fire in a flood. And you know what's astounding to me, and me and my husband was talking about this, how, the intensity of these fires. See, I know about the intensity of fires being a welder, and different colors mean different things. When the fire is white, it can't get no hotter. It can't get no hotter. That's the hottest it is, when it's white. And how these places is burning, and then you'll see a house not touched at all. And I could be off a bit, but I feel like those houses that are not touched at all, those must be some praying good folks. Also, what's noticeable is these places that are burning down happen to be in some very wealthy areas. I remember listening to Farrakhan, because he always says watch the weather too, that some white folks said that our father is an end lover because of the natural disasters that occur in the world and everything. So here, let's look at this real quick, my royal family. This is a map that I found just here in the United States, and these are the potential outlooks of fires. And even what you see in green, those are fires, but those are below normal. But you see here in red, and it speaks for itself. It's burning. And I mean, these fires ain't no joke. I mean, it is burning for weeks, months. I mean, getting down. I mean, they had a fire in Colorado. They had a fire in Oregon. And I think it did even hit parts of Canada. You know, fires jump. And I know that fire can be used as a cleansing. Because, I mean, this world is fucked up. I mean, the ugliness in this world, the intensity, the subjugation is deeper. I'm seeing black men get shot in the back. Our royal daughter gets stabbed in the neck. The repeated phone calls for the most pettiest stuff. Things that have been happening, always been happening. But they've been saying that we crazy. They've been saying that we crazy out of our mind about these things. But I said we was in the age of exposure. I said that we would see things that we had never seen before. I said that people would start having deeper dreams and visions. And I really, truly believe in my heart that these babies will have them even so, because they don't have any filter yet. They haven't totally been affected by the system. Listen to our royal babies. They're gonna be telling us stuff as I speak. As I speak in these last seconds. And to show you how how it's even affected me. Lisa Cabrera did a video months ago where they were saying that the globe is slowing down and the days is speeding up. I didn't even know it was this was the weekend. I thought it was either Thursday or Friday yesterday. And I happened to look at the calendar and I said, damn, I can't even keep up with the days. And me and my husband has been noticing how these days just been zooming by. So that paradigm shift that I talk about, we have had that paradigm shift and we continue to get that paradigm shift and we continue to get messages. And the enemy has no control over the moon, no control over the weather and the events that are occurring throughout the world. We have no control over this stuff at all. And then we got this crazy president that says global warming is a hoax. Let me see here. Let's pull this up. The polar cap. Let's see. Let me see. Hope I'm spelling that right. Oops, spelled that wrong. Excuse me. Polar cap. And polar cap. All right, Kim, get it right. Let's look at it. Because I showed it a while back. And, oh, this is a good one. This is 2016. And this is, look at this. So this is September 1984. You see the polar cap? Now, September 2016. And this nut saying that it's all a hoax. I seen some footage of it the other day. It creeped me out because they kept expanding it and showing it what it truly is. So, what does that mean? Well, what that means, my royal family, is this is what it means. It means this. If anybody have ever had surgery, when you go in a surgical room, it's cold. And they deliberately make it cold. And the reason why they make it cold, because they know if they made it warm, that is basically an incubator to grow diseases. And you can get sick as hell in a hospital. So they try to keep them surgical rooms as cold as possible to keep that down. So when the world heats up, which we're dealing with right now, when the world heats up, that invites disease. That invites disaster. It truly does. And see, they want to distract us and want us to overlook this. The damn world has heated up around the globe. We are in retrograde. And it said it would be fiery in nature. All the correlations. Now, we go over here to this blood moon. I choose to show it this way because of the color. Even though people have seen the true color of it. Because that represents us. Crystal black. Much love and respect to Dr. Francis Questus Welding talking about crystal black. That we need to truly get our house in order. All of us. There's things that I've been slacking on that I need to tighten up. So I don't want to project at you like I got all my shit together. There's more shit that I need to get together in my personal life. And preparing myself to the best of my ability, stay in what I say, Yah focus, God focus, whatever beautiful divine names you want to use for the Creator. And also, I always talk about that immediate situation where we sit down with our individual families and start talking about these things, because they may be getting visions, they may be feeling something, but because we have been spooked and beat down, and then we beat self down and each other down, that we don't want to sound like a damn fool when we talking about these things. We're not fools, my royal family. I heard the last days, and I heard the stampedes. Now, when I heard it and felt it, it wasn't blood curdling right up on me, but I felt it coming to me, and I was not asleep at all. And I tell my husband often certain things we might be talking about, and I said, honey, this is it. This is for real it. And I said, I didn't know I would be speaking in these fashions. But the thing that's amazing to me is that now we're seeing the last seconds. And as I overcome my little stuff, I'm just going to keep it core. And I appreciate the royal family for not knocking me down or any other people that want to open themselves and talk about the experiences that they are having. We are supposed to have these experiences. We are chosen. We are the most vibrational people on the planet. So we are supposed to feel something. Why do you think most of us have rhythm? We are in harmony, and we need to get more in harmony. And our harmony is off because Mother Nature has been disrespected. And I often pray for the many oceans, lakes, rivers, and streams. And I'm not a good prayer. And I share it with the royal family that our Father put that prayer on me 2 years ago. On me. We got a dead ocean. They have killed the ocean. That ain't nothing to take light. We got garbage orbiting around the moon that they ain't landed on. And they think that they're trying to penetrate. And the enemy's nature is think that they gonna have first dibs when the whole thing go down, and think, yo, we're gonna have this conversation with the Most High for a little more time. See, these people will never stop their depraved nature. And we need to start being true to our nature, because we are holding this thing back. There is things that we are doing, even our language. When I had that vision, it's been like almost 2 months now, about the white woman, that she would be the first, as I speak, to get the wrath, but that does not exempt the white man. And ever since I've said that, every single day, we are seeing something that they have recorded them doing, even though they've been doing this. And I know why. Do you know how many millions of people this woman have gotten killed? And then her man upholds her shit? What make these other races of people think that they could do what they can do to us in the universe, Mother Nature itself, and you don't feel anything? We done had our punishment, and we chosen. So what make others think that they are just going to gaze at this super moon like it's a party, or the blood moon? Oh, this is a party. This ain't no party. This is real. Our Father ain't nothing, no form of entertainment. Our Father is not no joke. Oh, we're just going to go look at it and everything. No, our Father is telling the universe, your 6,000 years been over. His children will no longer have to continue to go through tyranny. No longer. Now, even though the enemy gonna do what the enemy gonna do, and don't lose sight, my royal family, I said to y'all, and it happens damn near every day, you're going to see battles that they win to project on us, but we have won the war. The deeper that you look in the spiritual world, you will see it. I keep telling the royal family, put on your spiritual eyes and ears and stay armed up. Stay armed up. We gotta stay armed up from head to toe. Ever since I had my spiritual experience, I cannot stop thinking about our Father. I think about our Father almost through the entire day almost. That is how profound this is to me. And I told my dear sweet husband that I am forever changed. To experience what I experienced, to not be asleep and physically feel the Creator hold you in his arms. Like I said, I will laugh and joke with y'all. Sometimes I will rant and rave. But I am forever changed. It is the most profound experience in my life. And I've been seeking the word, and my prayer has been answered. Because there's things I've been asking for years. And I thank those many people. I thank, first and foremost, truthfully honest, thank Lisa Cabrera. I truly thank Lisa Cabrera for stripping down and showing us the infrastructure of America that is held up by threads. I thank Lioness for taking the time to do the Bible study with me. I thank Queen Maxine being there for the hard times. I thank Brenda. And there's so many others. I thank KD. I thank King Quest. And I could go on and on and on. There's so many that I thank in the royal family, even though we may not always agree. I'm on a journey. And there's many of us on a journey. The last thing I'll leave the royal family with is heaven smells like peaches. I'm going to leave it right there. I spoke on many things that may not even go together, but I spoke from my heart. And you can speak from your heart. So, my royal family, render your voice with your beautiful divine words. And as always, my royal family, I thank you for your love. I thank you for your support. And with that said, Ashe.